again, we're talking about the 70s here, right? So it's not, computers, like you said, it's typewriters. They actually had to get out and go somewhere. You can make a phone call, but you actually had to go to the library.
Of Congress.
Right, to look it up, and you got that infamous shot where they go up to the top.
Right,
and,
right.
So I thought it was awesome in terms of like the tie-in to Argo. They're both in the 70s, but with All the President's Men, I think that Affleck had to have watched that film before he started directing Argo, because you talked a little bit about just some of the camera moves, and
right.
We alluded to it earlier, but just in terms of how sometimes either we're moving with them right through the news building and everything, and then sometimes it's actually locked off. Like there's a nice scene, and this is why this is a master lock, film, where it's a 6-minute one take, single take of Redford, and he's just on the phone, right? And then in the background we have the rest of the newsroom, and they all crowd around the TV because something's going on, and they're making noise, but yet he's the only one working, again with his books and everything. But we slowly just push in, just
barely notice it.
Exactly, just to kind of like engage the viewer as you're watching. You're just like, oh my goodness, like who cares what's going on in the background? It could be World War III, but we're so engaged. So let's talk a little bit about some of those different techniques as well that we see in All the President's Men that I think were also used in
to Argo. Yeah, I think Affleck definitely had to sit down and watch it. I think he knew he was making 70s political thriller with CIA involvement. This must have been like a handbook to him, I think. And it's there from the opening of Argo. You'll notice that Argo, the opening credits, they show the different studios. They show the old school 70s Warner Brothers logo at the beginning of Argo.
Yeah,
the red and black.
Yeah.
And so from right off the bat, we know it feels like we're watching a movie from that era, which was a great era. From,
right.
67 to 80 is like some of the best American movies ever made. Don't get me started. but yeah, and I think he used it as pretty much like a blueprint. You'll even see some of the art direction in Argo. You'll note the CIA headquarter buildings. It's got those big fluorescent lights on the ceiling, which is just enlightening the whole space, and that looks exactly like the newsroom in All the President's Men. Some of the camera moves through the newsroom and the CIA headquarters, these long dolly tracks through the desks of the various things, just following these characters, like kind of cutting through the midst of all these coworkers. There's a lot of parallels, and then also you have what you said, the Redford was kind of the scene of like a pretty faced, kind of like the hunk, that the girls would go crazy over. And then with movies like this, he's starting to prove that he's a legit, technical actor too. And you could say Ben Affleck is kind of the same thing. He had the Bennifer phase, where he's, dating J-Lo.
Right.
And another tie-in is that they both went from this, pretty boy actor stigma to
Sundance
directing movies.
Right.
Redford was doing Ordinary People 4 years after All the President's Men, and then you have Affleck, who's now moved from acting to directing. And so I think there's a very good parallel career. Maybe Clooney's the only other one I can think of that has made the jump, and he co-produced Argo.